We're very pleasant to invite the Mr. Paul Paris, the CEO of the ASX-listed company Wellfully Limited, to join us today. Wellfully Limited ASX trading code is WFL. It's a fully integrated science-based wellness company. Welcome, Paul.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And could you please give us a brief introduction of Wellfully?
All right. As you mentioned, yes, Wellfully is the world's first fully integrated science-based wellness company. By this, I mean that we have all operations in-house. We're doing our advanced research. We have developed capabilities of product design and development, industrialization, supply chain, distribution, as well as marketing activities, which include content management and the management of two consumer brands. One is Redui, it's focused on beauty and beauty tech in particular. The other one is Swisswell, that caters to the health and wellness areas. Wellfully is unique in terms of scaling enhanced drug delivery technologies. In short, this means getting active ingredients in beauty or health product from where they are, a formulation, a patch, to where they're supposed to go, into tissue, into joints, into skin, or onto hair.
It's very exciting. So we have noticed the name has been changed from OBJ last year for like aligning for its current focus. So compared to the previous business and activities, what kind of transitions has been made?
Well, there has been a lot of work on the company over the last 2 years. OBJ has had a long tradition in enhanced drug deliveries. Matter of fact, with its 17 patents on delivery technologies and counting, I think it is currently the strongest R&D operation in the field. And by that, I do not only refer to the research, but also to the relevant application experience and product platforms that the company has developed since the late 90s. The transition to Wellfully was designed in order to be able to move from only R&D and technology licensing to an end-to-end fully integrated and full commercial footprint operation. And that included developing the operation centers that now do not include only the labs in Perth, but also a device and product design and engineering center in Dongguan, as well as a formulation laboratory and manufacturing facility in Switzerland, and a content and digital marketing center in Zagreb, Croatia.
So what made you choose these, like specifically like China, Switzerland, and these kind of locations?
Well, the idea is to be doing the right thing in the right place from the beginning. In a traditional scenario, you oftentimes see companies develop these activities organically, and the location is left up to chance. And then later down the road, they have to transition and remap their system. The measure here was to be sure we do each activity in the best location in terms of capabilities and competences. That we take care that it is there also supporting the products or the brand's positioning, and ultimately the most competitive of the locations. In particular, as said, Perth has this enhanced delivery technology together with Curtin University collaborations that now spans more than 20 years. Dongguan in itself is the hub for both tech and design, where you will find not just many of the Fortune 500 companies, but you will find the Huawei's, the Apples, the Luxotticas, a long tradition of design products. In the industrial district, this is where we source, this is where we assemble ourselves. we want to be able to curate everything in-house, especially when you do a lot of innovation. You want to make sure that you control the chain, long chain contracting, OEM containers, things like that are good for existing established products. But when you do something that nobody's ever done before, you want to be able to connect downstream learning and modifications and improvements, many of which we've already done with the existing products. We have time to market for new products that's a lot better. On the other hand, we have the formulations and the Swiss laboratories. Switzerland is home to a lot of the advanced pharma and chemical industries. And in particular, we are in Lugano in southern Switzerland. So basically being able to access talent and suppliers from the northern Italian pharma and beauty districts. To mention one, it's Intercos, Gotta Cosmetics. So many of the majors in beauty, in OEM, are found between here and Bergamo, all within 1 hour of the Swiss operation. We have the Croatian outfit that has also been home to one of my previous engagements for EOS, largest office at the end of the day. An environment that is not a global hub, but to human measure, where you can easily find a lot of international talent, and that in the meantime has become home to quite a number of unicorns, let's say outstanding world leading companies, not just Foreo, but also Rimac, and recently also even Bugatti in electric and luxury cars, to Bellabit and Infobit, if we talk about the wearable tech or IT in general.
It sounds great. So you haven't mentioned the core technologies like drug delivery to enhance ingredient effects. I guess that's all applied to your brands, your products. So now we're talking about like two brands. The first one is the Redoute. So can you tell us a bit more about this brand and what kind of products it provides, and what do you think that's their competitive advantages and its target markets?
Sure. Redwi is active in beauty tech, a segment of beauty that I myself have been following for 10 years now. That is expected to continue to grow north of 20% per year over the next year. So highly attractive, and also in the big picture of significant potential in terms of its development. It's still in its infancy or rudimentary in a way, maybe similar to home computing in the late 80s. And I think that with Redwi, we have a great opportunity to explore new fields by adding serious science-based technology of enhanced delivery, combining devices with topicals in a 1 + 1 = more than 2 kind of way, because the two so far have been separated in most of the brands and products we've seen on the market.
It's very exciting. So we have noted that today's announcements regarding to the Wellfully complete the first phase with the cooperation with Work. So for Redoute itself, how's the sales performance so far? And also what's the future planning for marketing and sales?
The Borg project, I think, was a very, very good test of our operational capabilities, for one. For second, it is also a very good example of the commercial strategy of Wellfully as such, because having a proprietary technology, we can actually connect, let's say, the upstream commercial activities. The extreme would be technology licensing. So you just have the R&D working. No, we continue to scale, and Borg is actually drawing from our product and industrialization capabilities, whereas we find the Redwi and Swisswell further downstream as own brands. We are also working on joint development or ODM basically using our engineering and industrialization to develop new products with partners, and ultimately working with retailers, over 10 of them already, across 8 different markets globally, a number I expect to double over the next year easily. So very, very positive on the prospects.
So the Reduce, what is the sales model for this own brand? Like the sales model it applies?
Reduit itself, I would describe as omnichannel, meaning we have collaborations with brick and mortars, with online verticals, department stores, as well as marketplaces, and our own D2C activities.
So that's also applying to the future marketing campaigns.
Yes, we have been amping now entering, let's say, September to October. We are at an order of magnitude more in terms of media and marketing investments. We are covering influencers and KOLs across multiple markets, mainly using higher bandwidth formats such as video for education purposes, still focusing on top of the funnel, but also preparing the mid and bottom of the funnel infrastructure, let's say, in terms of adding video consultations to just pure FAQ on our site. We are about to be live with subscription and referral models. And the bottom of the funnel, we already have bundles, 30 days return policies and various, in order to be able to convert even the early work really, really well. Other activities include earned media, so a lot of PR, as well as own channels, so primarily blogs and newsletters.
That's great. So about the second brand, Swisswell, when did that go live?
Swisswell went live, was introduced a few months ago, but it was end of August, and we expect to be shipping the first products over the next week or two. We already received a lot of pre-orders, and in general, I'm very positive just going through and looking at the activities we have on social media and on our site. The comments we're receiving are relevant. The Swisswell lubricant knee patch is, I think, truly a revolution, because it finally provides chronic knee pain consumers a new alternative between just taking anti-inflammatories, so the likes of ibuprofen or so, something that you can do for maybe a week or two, but not continuously because of possible gastrointestinal or even cardiovascular problems. Or the other option, which currently are food supplements, so chondroitin in the form of pills, something that is not only lesser in terms of performance, but again, not efficient in the sense that it has to go through the stomach, into the whole body, just to reach a joint or a knee, to get out again through the kidneys and the liver and everything. Generally something that consumers increasingly would like to avoid. The lubricant patch is also a very good example of enhanced delivery technologies put at work in situation not where you can deliver something, but do it better, like we have the case with many of the actives in the Reduit or so, but we're actually dealing with the ability to deliver something at all transdermally through the skin. In this case, non-medical grade actives that in clinicals that we tested achieved the same performance as medicinal anti-inflammatories. So a true value for the consumer, in my opinion.
It sounds credible. So why chose the knee to start the products, and if there will be more products to be developed under this brand?
Correct. Well, these are structurally the ones where people suffer the most. And if we talk about target audiences, it is everything from sports and activity that is increasing worldwide to general mobility and something that allows us to directly address and improve the quality of life of many consumers. We, yes, already had a lot of requests for other joints, and we are looking into these patches. And as a general thinking, this is also, I think, interesting in the bigger picture in terms of universality or no transversality of applications between health and possibly beauty. Because we could easily just as well use what the hair pods or the skin pods, from Redui to deliver topical products for joint treatment or for joints where a patch might not work well, and vice versa. We could bring to market patches that have enhanced delivery, like the ones on Swisswell, within the Redui range for beauty applications.
Well, it's like a crossover.
Yes. It's basically a three-dimensional matrix. On one axis, you have the applications, beauty and health. On the other one, you have the moment at which you capture value. So as I said before, we went from licensing to joint development projects to OEM and private label to our own brands and retail collaborations. With this, you basically maximize the capture of value, and you also minimize the commercial risks of one working better or at a different time than the other. The third axis is your infrastructure that you're scaling. So your operations, the R&Ds, the engineering, the manufacturing facilities, the marketing and content support teams. So in this 3x3x3, we finally see momentum. However, being relatively complex, it took us 2 years of work to develop this framework.
Wow. So from the your description of Wellfully, so you're also providing to the third party, the partners, the technology licensing and support them for their products like OEM. So can you give us some examples? Is there any well-known brand already used these technologies?
Yes, there is a few examples I could give. Historically, P&G has been a partner of Wellfully for a number of years. And from the better known brands, I think SK2 is quite a good mention as a qualification as well. There's other P&G brands and there's other brands of other companies that we are working with. However, we're bound by NDA in most of the cases. The most recent example, that of Borg in Russia, it's basically a super luxury premium retailer of 130 stores of their own with a footprint in a total of about 300 stores, but also a very interesting CRM base of over 350,000 high-end consumers that they cater to, that I think is also a very good example. They have long-standing relationship with other premium manufacturers and brands over the years, and I'm really curious to see this relationship evolve, in addition to following up the actual launch scheduled for early October, that we will join in with our team to ensure that service, training, positioning, and comms are in line and also adjusted for their realities. We have also already initiated new product development discussions with them. So I'm hoping to see a long-term relationship on that front. And as well in the future, I hope that we will be allowed to announce some of the other brands' collaborations. Yeah.
Very exciting. So as we know, you had a very, excellent experience that you led the success of the very well-known skincare brand L'Oréal. To be honest, I think more than half of my friends had at least one of their products on their hand. So, so from that experience, what made you choose Wellfully, and what do you think that you can help this brand to lead another success?
I found Wellfully extremely interesting because of this technology inventory that has been developed and curated over many years, but not really put to use properly. And this is where I saw the challenge to a point. Okay, Foreo was different times and a different situation, equally exciting at the very beginning. But here, I think that we have everything we need to write sort of the second chapter of the development of beauty tech, much as we had the fortune to be able to do with Foreo.
Great. When I had a look at the Redude website, was excellent, and I also noticed a couple of the team members come from other very well-known groups like L'Oreal, this kind of thing. So in your team, under Wellfully, under the Redude and Wellfully, this brand, and also the board members, what the notable experience that you think they are able to help these brands, to help the Wellfully, like in a whole, to the success?
All right, clear. Yes, I think I'm pretty lucky with my board to start with, in the sense that we have Mr. Chapera and Varano on board. They were the two key people behind Becca Cosmetics, a premium beauty brand that they went from start to eventual sale into Estée Lauder. On top, Steven Chapera, I think, also recently just completed an exit for Invisible Brands that were sold to Henkel. On top, we have Mr. Cameron Reynolds, who is, let's say, the equivalent in the pharma industry, so for Swisswell and those applications. I'm very happy to have Jeff Edwards, the founder of Wellfully, on board as well. And ultimately, we've added Mr. Anthony Wright, that is more focused on corporate governance and legal, meaning communications and let's say all the support structure, and having that in order, I think, is key now that the company has really grown in complexity and a number of activities. On the team level, yes, we have L'Oréal's and Condé Nast, a really young and good team, but not only in beauty. Here in Switzerland, the operation is led by a senior manager of Baxter, so pharma, and we are continuing to grow the organization. We went from, what was it, 5 to over 100 now within less than 2 years. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what would be the development plan for the next 12 months for Wellfully? Like R&D development, or new products to be launched, or even a new brand to be launched? This kind of plan for next 12 months.
Well, starting from the upstream, we are continuing advanced research activities. So completely new product concepts, enhanced delivery mechanisms, and the technologies that are around it in terms of making them into products. Then further down the road, in terms of specific products, we hope to see going live in the next year. I think there is 2 notable mentions. One is the realization of a patent from early last year, and it is the in situ separation of mixtures, basically the ability to take an emulsion, which has oil and water base, combining it and to separate it out into 2 layers on application itself. And in particular, we're talking about a premium sunscreen product where we will have a product that is actually enhanced delivery, but closer to traditional products. So without the battery, without the device, it's just the materials and the geometries of the applicator that will allow the formation of a water-based film with antioxidants, with skin barrier niacinamide actives that will be delivered on the bottom layer and then pushed into the skin with the micromagnetic arrays with the UV filters that remain in the oil layer on top, also reducing other reactions from the emulsifiers, the surfactants that are there to maintain the emulsions, as these will be stuck nicely in the middle. So really a groundbreaking product. The second one goes a little bit in the opposite direction. And we're talking about a universal enhanced delivery skincare applicator. Through 20 years, we've worked through so many actives that we have a library of waveforms that we have realized allows us to actually basically read the product description, the claims, the formulation, the ingredients, and be able to tell which is the best fitted waveform. On top of that, in the process, we found ways to adjust it further in order to be able to personalize it to the actual user's skincare needs and concerns, their skin type, even their location, for them to be able to get the best delivery for themselves for a specific skincare product of their choice, and have it in the form of a simple applicator to use to apply any third brand product. In my opinion, this could be a game changer, again, allowing us to focus on enhanced deliveries, but also being complementary with other products, because it's not either or anymore. If we talk about retailers, it's additional sales that I think will be appreciated by the distribution and the retail industry in general. And this is on the product level. I think that then existing products, Swisswell and Redui, both of them will see quite a bit of development in terms of commercial activities. Swisswell, we started direct to consumer, and we will be test driving, let's say, B2B engagements now through October, but then really going full speed starting January. Redui itself, as said before, I expect the number of retail collaborations to double over the next year for sure.
Well, a lot of work to do. So yeah, the stock price of the Wellfully has been very well performed in the 1.5 months long. I guess you already explained the reason why. A lot of work has been done in the past few months. So do you think that momentum will continue?
I
Or
certainly
even be stronger?
And that we will have positive announcements in the future. And you know, sometimes there is a lot of work you have to do, but you will see the results only after some time. And I think we managed to get to that new sort of level, not the plateau necessarily, but to make the jump. So a lot of the things that we've been working on for now 2 years are starting to show, and I hope there will be even more over the next months and years, ideally. Yeah.
Is there any additional information you would like to deliver to existing and potential shareholders?
Well, it is yes, and a message of thanks and appreciation of the support that we have seen, the trust in the work of the company and the organization. I hope we will continue to deliver as we're planning to. We're really focused on execution and basically also trying to create a strong foundation for sustainable and continuous growth. That is the idea at the end of the day.
Well, thank you, Paul, for your time and today's interview. We're very happy to hear that Wellfully are busy with multiple progressions and also like a marketing and sales to its 2 brands and other developments as well. So at the end, we're very looking forward to witness its growth, its success in the future under your lead and also behind the efforts contributed by the whole team. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.